Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to White Time. My name is Terry Toot, and today's show will be called It's Prime Time. Prime Time. You remember Chris Berman on ESPN? He has that segment called Prime Time. Well, this is not quite the same, but almost like it, ladies and gentlemen. So it is Prime Days that are coming up through Amazon. So Amazon's marked on prices on a lot of stuff. And we're going to talk about some of the items I picked out. And maybe you might have something that might be interesting to me. But the Prime Days are from July 8th to the 11th. And we'll talk about that. Also, I haven't been on the air in a while. We'll talk about that. And then what else we got going on? There's absolutely nothing going on in the world of sports but baseball and club football. Soccer. And the NBA Summer League is starting. But we'll get into all that later on. So let's come on back and live that punk. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Once again, welcome to Bite Time. My name is Terry Toot, and today's show is called, once again, It's Prime Time. I can't do it like Chris Berman, but we'll try to do a good imitation of him. Like I said, we're talking about the Amazon Prime days that are coming up starting tomorrow, July 8th until July 11th. And they have a assortment of different items for sale. And some of them I hate to say this because I'm losing my faith in Jeff Bezos. But they have a quantity and a plethora of all different kind of stuff they have there. They have stuff, your regular electronics in your also they have like vacuum cleaners, all this. So we'll get into some of this stuff too. For real. We're gonna talk about that. And mostly because this is a technology show, we'll keep it geared toward that. So, but on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I missed you guys. Let's see what I've been up to. I haven't been up to absolutely not a damn thing. um, Went out for a boat cruise, me and my lady, last week, and on 4th of July, matter of fact, and the weather was excellent. The vibe was beautiful. Going out there in the bay was excellent. Excellent, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Excellent. What did I do on Saturday? I cooked a brisket on my smoker. Uh, Anybody that does that, it's a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen, okay? Because you got to fight with the temperature, flare ups, all that good stuff. So, but it turned out really good. Friends came over, hung out, you know, had a little cookout, and that was it. And then here we are. So we're gonna get back into the schedule now. I'm gonna go to Saturdays, starting this coming Saturday. And only way up, I won't do a Saturday if I have to go out of town, something like that. But we'll stay on Saturdays for a little while, because we got football season coming up, and I will probably go back to doing Saturdays, not Sundays, because the NFL is a I can't fight them. I can't. They're too powerful. So we'll probably stick to these Saturdays, and then um, once the football season is over, we might do Sundays, but we're still gonna stick with Saturdays. Okay. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, Amazon has their yearly Prime Days, and it's remarkable how they have some really good sales. I mean, I hate to say it, they're better than the big box stores, and you get the only thing I think the shipping things is a little crazy. Um, for little tiny things. They really should give you a break on like smaller things and not charge an arm and leg for shipping. But it's neither here or there. But like I said, I picked out a few items, ladies and gentlemen, that I was looking at earlier, and someone really surprised me, really did. So we'll get started. So on the first um, objective in the first device is the Apple MacBook M4. This is only a 13-inch screen on here, but ladies and gentlemen, it's a 2025 laptop computer from Mac. It's a MacBook, and you got 256 gigs of RAM. Okay, excuse me, 256 gig of storage. My bad. 16 gigs of RAM. I apologize for that. And you're running the Mac OS operating system. And like I said, you can't go wrong on this price. I even saw M4 MacBooks at even $649. I'm not crazy, ladies and gentlemen. And it's brand new 2025. Um, that you can't beat that. You cannot beat the prices on this. I'm not even a MacBook person, but I wouldn't mind getting one myself. If it's $649, I can see myself buying it. But the cheap, okay, here it is right here. Walmart has them. Okay. Now that's got the M1 chip. So the M4 is going to be one. So the starting price on this is, if you take it as is with the specs that are on here, they're going to be $849. You're saving $150, ladies and gentlemen, because this machine is $1,000 machine. It really is. If it was $649, but that's, like I said, it was an older model, and it's also a with the M1 chip in there. Okay, so it's gonna be it's only got 8 gigs of RAM, so that's not even good. And if you want to get more RAM on there, you can't do it because, like I said, the motherboard is soldered now. So whatever memory you have in there, that's it. It's a whole new ball game now. Whole new ball game. But I'll give you some specs on it real quick, ladies and gentlemen. It's got fingerprint reader, backlit keyboard. Let's see, 13.6 inches, like I said. Also, what else we got? 12 megapixel camera that's on there, so that's really good. That's a pretty good picture. 12 megapixels, that's good. Okay, so that's real good. So for $849 on Amazon, you can't you really can't. I'm not a big Apple guy, but for that price, you can't beat that, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't. All right. Like I said, that one's $849, and that is 2025 edition. Okay, the next item we're gonna talk about is, of course, another Apple product. The iPad 11-inch. It has an A16 chip in there. 11-inch model, liquid retina display. You're compatible up to 128 gigs of storage. Okay, Wi-Fi 6. It's got 12 megapixel front and back camera on here, and it's Touch ID, so it's got the biometrics on there. And this could be yours for $299, ladies and gentlemen. They are really dropping the prices. I'm really surprised they have dropped prices on Apple products. So that's okay. That's okay, because their products are kind of expensive. And now for Prime Days, you can't go wrong. You really can't. If you're a big Apple person, a Mac person, you can't go wrong. All right. The next device I picked out, ladies and gentlemen, is the Microsoft Surface Pro 11. This is also very expensive, always expensive. Um, the price on this, ladies and gentlemen, for the Prime Days, $885. You're not going to get anything cheaper than that. Okay. These are very good Microsoft machines, Surface. They're basically no computers, but they're very small. But you can't go wrong. 13-inch screen, just like the MacBook. It's got a 3.4 gigahertz processor, and that's really good. You're running Windows 11, of course. It's going to have 16 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of storage. And what else we got? Oh, hold on. That's not right. That's not. Hold on a second. It's more than that. Let me see. You can get it upgraded to 16. Let me correct myself, ladies and gentlemen. You can get it upgraded to 16 24, 32, and 64. So I apologize for that. It's got USB ports on here, of course. Solid state drive. And what do we got for storage? We got 512 gigabyte. You're not going to use that up unless you got a whole bunch of junk, pictures, movies, and stuff like that. But you're not going to be able to use that. Just saying here, it has an optical drive you could use for this. Okay, it's got stereo speakers, wireless format to 802.11 AC and 11B, and then 802.11N. So you got all the latest formats for Wi-Fi. What else we got? And 19 by 20 by 1080 resolution. So that's fantastic. So not only are you getting a very fast machine, you're getting a lot of got the DPI is very good on here, 1920 by 1080. All right, so you can't go wrong there. And that one will get you $885 out of your pocket. So you're just under $1,000, but you're close to it. So that's not bad. It only weighs 9/10 of a pound. So it's really, really, really light. Okay. Cool. Let's move along, ladies and gentlemen. So next is the Kindle Paperwhite Essential. So this is the Kindle's like an Apple product, but this is made by Amazon, Jeff Bezos. All right. And this is a bundle that they have. Okay. Don't forget the Kindle. So this one is white. It's like a white screen. That's definitely made for your hardcore readers. Okay. For the bundle is $154.97. Comes in black fabric cover, and comes with a power adapter, of course. You come with 16 gigs of RAM storage in here. Okay, you can't go wrong on that. All right. So, yeah, like I said, the Kindle. I have the colored one, so I've had it now for about 4 years, and it's really really good. I hate to say it, like I said in previous time we talked that I've had a uh, Amazon product before. Beautiful picture, but the battery life sucked. It really, really sucked. I'm sorry to say that, but they must have made some right corrections, and people were beefing. I remember I used to take the train into DC, and later told me I don't even bring mine anymore because it's so crappy because it's the battery life was so terrible. Especially when you watch something in high definition, it just screams, "Bleed me, bleed me, bleed me." It's ridiculous. So they made essential choices and getting that corrected, and you can't go wrong with that. All right. All right. So not only do they have, besides your laptops, your tablets, and all that stuff, you also have cell phones. Motorola Moto G has a built-in stylus. Ladies and gentlemen, brand new, $300. Nothing fancy to it. 5G. Because most all phones are 5G now. But for $300, a brand new phone with a stylus built into it, hey, that's not bad at all. Brand new, ladies and gentlemen. Instead of going to the stores, here you got a phone that's ready for you right there. So that's $300. That's not bad. And you don't get charged with another. Um, you know how they charge you each month for owning the phone and the service. Here, if you just pay the $300, it's yours. Plain simple. All right. Another device we got to talk about is now everybody, we're portable. We got tablets, laptops, phones, headphones. What else? We're all of it. We're very mobilized in being compatible and portable. So you need something to have charges. Your battery life's gonna go down your headphones, your battery life's gonna go down your laptop, your tablet, your headphones. So get yourself a USB-C charger from Anker. I have an Anker charger, and ladies and gentlemen, they work tremendously good. Very, very good. They're a company from out of China. I'm sorry. So you can charge this USB-C, and I'm gonna give you a list of the formats that it can handle. So you can do a USB-C with the Apple Watch, um, but doesn't come with a charger. It's just saying that you can connect it to this charger, 100-watt charger, and your watch will get charged up with it. Okay. The Google Pixel Books, Sony Xperia, Microsoft Surface Pro 9, you know, a whole list of laptops and AirPods. Um, everyone's got I was saying headphones, earbuds, same thing. It can get charged by this Anchor, and Anchor is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I have one. Okay, I know they say Chinese, but you know what? I don't give a damn. It works really good. I'm impressed with it, and I like it. And I was out of town, was it back in May, and I said, let me charge my backup. Ladies and gentlemen, I was taking pictures, doing all kind of junk, and I had that charger. I turned it off, turned the phone off, and it charged up in like 30 minutes, and I was good to go. Really good to go. Um, yeah, so you can't go wrong. This is on sale for $50. Just charge that bad boy up, and guess what? When you gotta go out of town or you're on a train, on a plane, and you instead of plugging into that crappy stuff they have at the airport, you have your own charger. And you can't go wrong with this, ladies and gentlemen. You really can't. So, like I say, you can connect the iPhones, the Galaxies, um, it's you name it, it can connect to it. But I still would check with Anchor, but this is what I'm reading right now. Okay? Cool, cool, cool. All right, let's keep it moving. Now, remember I was telling you earlier in the beginning of the show that we're not gonna just talk about mostly electronics. We're gonna talk about stuff you need for the kitchen. Okay? So here we go. Instapot Duo Plus 9-in-1 multi cooker. $70, ladies and gentlemen. That's a steal. You got the different modes, cooking modes on here. So you got a pressure cooker, slow cook, steam, rice cook, saute, and all of the stuff. And it's 6 quarts. That's how big it is. That's a good size. And you can't go wrong with that. That's excellent. That is excellent, excellent, excellent. For $70, you know how much these things were a few years ago? $70, 70, and you can't go wrong with that at all. Okay, that's a steal and a half. That's really good. If I had a big family, I would buy one, but I don't. Okay, if this stuff was around when I was living at home, my mother and father, and us 8 of us, this would have worked out perfectly. So, like I said, you can saute, slow cook. You could probably chop up a brisket, put it in here, and cook it, and it'd be cut. I mean, it would be cooked in no time. Okay, saute foods. You know, I know one of the guys' job. He has one, and he eats a lot of rice. And he says, "Man, just do the serving they say, put it in there, rice will be ready in no time." That's crazy. All right, so that's the Instant Pot Duo plus 9-in-1 multi cooker for $70 starting tomorrow. All right. What else we got here? We got the smart tags. Okay, say for instance you're traveling, right? And you want to make sure because in the airlines they can lose your bag. Here, you on your phone, you can see because it got built-in GPS where your bag is at. All right. So Samsung smart tags are 2 for $18, $18.50. That's not bad. Plus, you're able to have these tags. The best ones are the ones. I think they're compatible with the Apples, with Mac. But the Samsung ones, it works just as fine, ladies and gentlemen. For $18, hell yeah, jump on that. That's not bad. Not bad at all, ladies and gentlemen. At all. And you can't go wrong with that. I know people just think, oh, I need to beat the brand name. No, you just get the stuff that you feel is compatible for you. All right. And that's great. It's like I say, $18.50 starting tomorrow. All right. Cool, cool, cool. Let's get moving. Let's do this real quick. Let's play some music here. It's the Blink Outdoor 4. It's a one camera system. One camera system comes with 4 cameras. Okay. $45, ladies and gentlemen. You can't beat this. All right. So they got an outdoor camera with a sync mode module. Records in 1080. Support two-way talk and deliver speedy and accurate motion alerts to your phone. So somebody's getting close, boom, it's sending you an alert. Okay. You don't need a subscription. All you need to do is have a thumb drive and put it in the sync module that they have and get the clips you want from, who's been there. You can download it. You can't go wrong, ladies and gentlemen. $45. Okay. All right. So, next item, I think this is it. The next item we're going to talk about here is, ladies and gentlemen, for you future broadcast guys, or you want to be the new podcast here in the new block, we have the NT USB mini microphone, and that's going to be on sale tomorrow for $99. Streaming and singing. But I saw, if you see the picture of this online, it's very small. I would recommend getting like a bigger stand, because your neck is gonna be hurting when you're trying to talk on this microphone. So I would recommend that. It's a USB, so you're gonna have to use phantom power on this. Okay, compatible with computers, tablets, amplifier, and your headphones. It's color black, and this is from Rode NT. All right. It's got a detachable magnetic desk stand and a built-in pop filter. So the pop eliminate the P sound. Okay, and it's unidirectional, and at $99. Hey, you never know. Maybe the price might go down for some of you guys that want to be future podcasters. And so that's going to be great. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't decided what I'm going to buy. I really don't know. What I'm going to buy. I'm going to look through it one more time, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to get an idea of what I'm going to do. I would like to buy that. What was it? The drone that follows you, and that's $200. Maybe it might be cheaper tomorrow. I don't know. I'll just have to wait till tomorrow, like a little kid. Remember when we were kids back in the day? And Christmas time, you got the Sears and Roebuck Christmas catalog, or J.C. Penney, all those cute toys, all those great toys in there. I remember that. They don't do it anymore, ladies and gentlemen. But so I hope everybody has fun with the Prime Days. I have a feeling you're going to find some good deals. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end the show with Lighter Than Air. Thank you all for coming on. I really appreciate it. Miss you guys. We're going to do shows this Saturday and going forward, unless I'm going to have to go out of town. But other than that, welcome back. I'm glad everybody's back. Vacation. We had a long weekend, but I'm glad to be in the thick of things, and I'm ready to go. So I'll see everybody on Saturday. And once again, this is Lighter Than Air. Enjoy. Be well. Be good. Take care, everybody. One love.